My landlord banged on my door so hard it rattled the picture frames on the walls. When I opened it, he stood there with two random guys behind him, arms crossed, faces covered like wannabe bouncers. He shoved a printed paper in my face and barked, "You're being evicted, you have 10 minutes to pack and get out." I stared at him, stunned, no warning, no prior notice, no legal paperwork, just intimidation. I took a slow breath and said, "You just made the biggest mistake of your life." He smirked, a smug, arrogant smirk, because he thought I was powerless. He had no idea I was about to dismantle his entire career. After leaving a toxic relationship, I needed somewhere quiet. Safe, stable, the apartment wasn't fancy, but it was mine, a fresh start. My landlord Marcus seemed friendly at first, a little too friendly maybe, but I brushed it off. He promised the building was professionally managed, that maintenance would be timely, and that he respected tenants. Spoiler, he respected no one. For months, I ignored the small red flags. He'd show up unannounced, he'd enter the building without notice, he flirted even after I said I wasn't interested. He forgot to fix things he promised, but I stayed quiet. I didn't want conflict. Then one day, he decided silence meant weakness. It began when he asked me out and I politely declined. His tone changed instantly. Suddenly, my maintenance requests were ignored, my parking space was accidentally reassigned, packages disappeared, he overcharged me on rent, he made jokes about women who complained too much. Then one morning, he slid a note under my door. "We need to discuss your lease renewal, your behavior has been concerning." Behavior? I worked 2 jobs, I barely had time to breathe, let alone misbehave. But then the truth hit me, he wasn't punishing me for behavior. He was punishing me for rejecting him. When he showed up with 2 men and claimed I was illegally occupying the unit, I felt something inside me snap. He said, "I already re-rented this apartment. The new tenant moves in tomorrow, so get out." He pushed past me like he owned the place, but what he didn't know, what he couldn't possibly predict, was that I had been documenting every incident for months, the illegal entry. The harassment, the retaliation, the fake notices, the threats, everything, and more importantly, my lease was valid for 6 more months, meaning he couldn't legally evict me for any reason without proper court procedures. And he skipped every single step. The moment he touched my door, he broke the law. While he yelled and tried to intimidate me, I quietly hit the record button on my phone. He and his 2 helpers forced their way inside and started touching my belongings. That was my victory moment, because in my state, an illegal eviction attempt, especially one involving force, is not just a civil violation, it's a crime. I calmly told him, "Marcus, you just trespassed. You also attempted an illegal lockout, and I have everything on video." He froze mid-sentence, but it was already too late. I took him to court and ended his little empire. I went straight to a tenant rights attorney. When she saw the footage, her jaw dropped. She said, "We can sue him for illegal eviction, attempt, harassment, retaliation, breach of contract, emotional distress. This is huge." And it was. We filed a lawsuit and reported him to the housing authority. Turns out I wasn't the only one. Multiple tenants had complained but never had proof. I did, within weeks. His rental license was suspended, his helpers were questioned by police, he was fined thousands, he was forced to pay my legal fees, and he owed me damages for harassment and attempted eviction, the best part. He had to sell the building to cover the fines. Every unit, every investment, gone, all because he tried to kick out the wrong woman. I stayed, he lost everything. Marcus disappeared from the property after the case ended. A new management company took over and they actually treated tenants like humans. My rent stayed the same, my safety returned, my peace returned. And Marcus, last I heard, he moved to another state and was struggling to get approval to manage rentals again. He kept saying, "It's all because of that tenant." Yes, it was. He tried to evict me illegally, he tried to break me, instead he broke himself. Never let someone with power intimidate you into silence. A person who abuses authority counts on fear, on confusion, in isolation. But the moment you stand up with evidence, with knowledge, with confidence, their power dissolves, their threats crumble, and the truth becomes the strongest eviction notice of all.